Hello everybody, we're back once again. This is sort of a spiritual sequel to the Role of Suffering in Life video. A lot of you really enjoyed that and took a lot from it, so I'm going to do more in the vein of that, starting today. The eagle-eyed amongst you have probably read the title, although considering people's attention spans in the modern era, I wouldn't be surprised if you've not. But if you've not, the topic of today's video is the power of letting go, or the art of letting go. And this ties in a lot with the suffering video I did, and it's also another recipe for happiness in life, and it's actually one of the simplest and deepest pieces of wisdom you can get insight into. And you've probably seen it in your own life if you've been clinging to something, oftentimes something that keeps you in your comfort zone or that you've been used to your whole life, say a relationship, a friendship, even attachment to like a TV series or a game or something where you just can't let it go, and it actually causes you more and more suffering because realistically I think it's the Buddha that says that the root of all suffering is attachment, which is actually a really clever quote and very applicable to life in the modern era, even more so I'd say, because of how much we're bombarded with entertainment such as like video games, where it's like, oh, you just play this one game for like months and years on end, and that is just your comfort zone that you stay in. And actually that's one of the things that causes the most suffering, because one of the only constants in the universe, in life, is change, and to not embrace that is actually a cause of deep suffering. And the funniest part about it is that when you detach from it and let go and embrace the change, embrace the unknown, it oftentimes, more than usually, is the most character building experience for you, and the antidote to the suffering. So since life is sort of meaningless, the only thing left for you to do is enjoying it, and that's why the deep beauty of like a deeper sense of nihilism, not the fucking, oh, life's meaningless, it's shit, and it's sort of the negative nihilism. There's a higher nihilism from the top down rather than like the bottom up, if that makes sense. So you can sort of only enjoy life by detaching from it, from the illusion, because the illusion will only cause you more and more suffering. So yeah, like I've been talking about, I've been going through suffering, and a lot of that's been due to me clinging on to things, trying to force them to work out. I've just realised that life is, I still live with my parents, and I've realised that the universe, or my consciousness, is manifesting things in my life that are telling me to let go of this thing I've been so used to and move on and embrace change. But obviously my ego is sort of, it's in fear of the change, because it's so used to being in homeostasis, stuck in this sort of routine of doing the same thing all the time, being used to it and just going through the motions, when actually I need to embrace the change that is slowly bubbling up, because if I keep suppressing it, it's going to be a cause of even deeper suffering. And then realistically, what is that suffering? It's just the catalyst for change, and how brutal is the catalyzation going to be? It's like you need to take a step back and be open-minded and conscious and see that, yeah, the suffering that's building up, you can actually take a step back and use it to amplify your decision to move on. A good example is looking at, say, like older people. Say if you go into a park and there's like some old person, you get to that age, I believe. This is all just like speculation. This is just my experiences in life, so don't take it like too extremely. Don't get too attached to what I say. Lol, nice to, I just tied that in very cleverly, but I didn't even mean to do that. So yeah, if you look at, I've noticed, like, you go into a park and you see old people, they've got like this attachment, this detachment even from life in a sense, and they're just looking around smiling with their mouths open like, hey, by God, lad, it's fucking alright, this, innit? And they don't really care about the appearance, or obviously it's not all the same for a lot of old people. A lot of old people are like absolutely tapped and are attached to the dream and can't let go, but the ones who've like obviously been through a lot of life and have a lot of wisdom, they're just content with just like looking out the window or just looking into the air in a park and not getting attached to something. And we obviously suffer big time in that, I say, young people and sort of the Gen Z, Zoomers and the Coomers and the Doomers, all of us so attached to like our phones and entertainment and drama, because human beings, like, at the end of the day, you've got to admit that we're absolutely obsessed with drama, whether it's in our entertainment or in our own lives. Even if it brings us suffering, we just love like the action of drama and the thrill of it, and it gives our life the meaning that we think it needs, when actually if we just strip away the meaning and enjoy life for what it is, just basking. I've just noticed lately I've just enjoyed just basking in life rather than forcing myself like, oh, I get home and I need to put some entertainment on to keep myself distracted, when realistic I can just like lie in bed and just sort of look at the ceiling and just let go and embrace the moment for what it is and being present, and that actually brings me a deeper sense of happiness. And like, say the way you treat things, like, oh, I will listen to music during the day to keep myself distracted, and I need to do all these things at once, like listen to music, read books, play games, and do all these things at once, and when you can just literally just do it and just feel into it, like, a really therapeutic thing for me is literally just sitting down with headphones and listening to music and not trying not to think, and just soaking in the goodness, if you know what I mean, and not having to use it as a crutch or to fill the void in life. And if you do this, the sooner the better, really. You're training for life. You can train for life by detaching at a young age, and that'll protect you from loads of suffering down the line and all these broken illusions and all sorts of plans and dreams and attachments that will only bring you bitterness and disappointment. Like, say, one of the biggest ones is being in a relationship that doesn't work out, and then you're completely attached to it, and you try to force it to work out, and you're actually making the suffering worse. You're destroying any more chances you have at happiness, and you're sort of retarding your growth in a way. You look at all these spiritual gurus, like Osho and that, and they don't buy into the attachment into life, and they just soak it all in. Obviously this takes years and years of practice, but the best thing to do is start now and keep honing in these skills. There's so much drama in life, from the attachment to the reality, and like, oh, this must be real, I must have been a victim, or everything's got to be this way. But when you just give into it, give into the change, you stop getting so invested in the drama, and you see life as sort of a comedy. I think it was is it Chaplin that said that? From close, that life is a drama; from afar, it's a comedy. And it's so true. And again, I think this is why you'd laugh your arse off so much on psychedelics, and when you get into higher planes of consciousness, and you just literally just pissing yourself at everything. I've noticed that in my like deepest trips, where you just absolutely howling your head off. It's like you just see life as a joke that you just shouldn't get too attached to. But when you're in sober state, it's like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on, man, and all this shit. You're getting so caught up in the drama of life and the ridiculousness of it. But actually, this ridiculousness is the biggest source of comedy. When you're in a higher state of consciousness, you just see it as like a grand cosmic joke that the universe is playing on itself. And I'd say that was one of the biggest keys to and not enlightenment, but happiness. The more you detach yourself from reality, the clearer your vision and perception of reality is, of the dynamic of life and the ever-changing reality of the universe and your individual life as well. And people become very myopic because of their attachment to life, and they waste the days chasing these illusions and destroying themselves in the process, only to realise at the end that it's all a waste. And that can lead to a quite depressing life. That's how, again, like the sort of joyless old people can come about, in contrast to the sort of wise old people who can just, like Eckhart Tolle and stuff. He talks about how they ask him, well, how do you spend most of your days? And like, I just look out the window and look at the birds. And fair play, like, obviously a lot of people are like, the guy's a fucking moron, but actually he's a deeply wise individual, because he doesn't need all of like these extra bits in life to waste his energy on. He can just literally just embrace the moment for what it is, and that will be the deepest source of wisdom. And that's exactly how all these like super spiritual people are just like, right, I'm fucking gonna go live in a cave now, me lad, because they can literally just do it, because the deepest happiness for them is just letting go and embracing what is. And it's funny how our like modern society will call these people stupid and wasting their lives, when actually us in the 21st century were so bombarded with all like hyper entertainment and distractions and dopamine fixes, like say TikTok and stuff. And like, I'm not judging him for using it all. I'm just saying, like, this is just my perspective, like using TikTok all the time, or like Instagram. And I mean, I'm guilty of it as well. I'm no person to judge, but I can tell like the deep toxicity in what I can do sometimes. I mean, I don't use TikTok, but like I've noticed that eventually it's gonna sort of brainwash the future generations, in a sense where they won't even be able to sit through like an hour-long film, even if it's a really deep artsy film that can like expand your mind. Like, they'll just be like, well, it's fucking boring, isn't it, because nothing's happening every other second to keep them attached, lol. Because they're constantly used to like dopamine fixes from like 10-second videos, and the change, not the change, but like something different to give them a thrill, where like the deepest thrill of life would be, I don't know, fucking packing up your bags and moving to like Thailand or something you think you'd never do, and that will often bring you the deepest source of joy and growth. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I didn't repeat myself too much. I know people get really angry when I do that, but I can't help it. This is just personal videos, just me rambling on about stuff. So yep, don't take it too seriously, and yeah, see life as a joke sometimes, and yeah, it can get hard and it's tough, and just sometimes it helps to take a step back and see the deeper wisdom at play. And I know it's tough, and I empathise with you if you're in even like really dark positions, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, children. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video, and let us know if you want to do, if you want me to do another one in the future, because I probably will do anyway, but it's always good to have that affirmation. Yep, right, I'll see you later, boys and girls. Keep your wigs on. Oh, I don't know what the fuck you're on about anymore.